Okay, good evening, everyone. So, welcome back to the session. I hope for the online now, like my voice is clear for you. Can you please confirm the chat box once? Okay, so in last class, which concept we have discussed? Master and okay, let's recap that one. What is the purpose of using master and slave concept? To distribute the bills. I mean, like load or bills. Okay. So, but better to say always build. Okay. So, if you don't distribute, what will happen? It will be crashed. Correct. So, what is the communication between master and slave? Correct. And what is an agent? Hey, no, no, no. I asked the software which you install on the worker node. That is what you can call as. For example, currently the agent is Java 11. In future, the agent will be node exporter for Prometheus. Okay. For Kubernetes, the agent will be kubelet. Agent will keep changing. Okay. But the definition will not. Fine. And what is the label? Way of assigning the job to the slaves. Correct. In last class, which account we used? I think we used Satya account, right? I think she's not here. Let's wait for her today. Why? Because if she can't come, so our setup is on that account, na? So we cannot. So in today's session, I'm gonna teach you the concept of artifactory. Which one? Let's discuss what is artifactory. Durga, can you please send your credentials? I mean, like last time we have set up on your account, na? So please send your credentials for the session today. Yep. Verification code, please, Satya. And guys, for login purpose of our AWS account, we can put the verification code through MFA. I'll explain how to put MFA. Okay, don't worry it as of now. So these are the servers, like what exactly we have. So I'm terminating this Git instance, Satya. So first of all, let me start my servers, which I have used for the last session. So I'm gonna start them now. Basically, slaves are not necessary, but I'm starting them. She's the server already created. Let me terminate this one. Sir, generally you create artifact, right? What is an artifact? Final product of our code. That means entire your code will be storing on the artifact. Developer will give very large files. We will not maintain the large files to deploy application. We will maintain only one file that is called as var file. That var file will be a package of complete code given by the developer. That is the thing what we can call as end product. What do we call as end or final product? Anything is fine. Okay. So let me connect to it. I think chk config is enabled. Let me check. If it is starting, it's enabled, or otherwise it's not. So it's not enabled. Why? Because I can clearly see there is a loading page problem. If you see this one, what does it mean? Your service will be on stopped. So whenever if you want to restart your service automatically, which command I said for you? chk config. So guys, this is applicable for all the services, not only Jenkins. If you see any service, this is applicable for that service. So I'll be log into my Jenkins console and give the command chk config Jenkins on. Done. So give the command systemctl status Jenkins. Currently it is on stop status. Why? Because we just now log into server. Okay. So now I need to start it. After starting, that chk config will applicable. Okay. Start. Go ahead and check now. So it is starting now. So I'll be getting the login page here. And credential, please, Satya. Jenkins. So now you can see this command systemctl status. It is running here. Are you able to see it now? Yes. So now I'll be able to log into my console here. Fine. So my Jenkins server will be logged in now. So here in today's session, I'm gonna show you the two important things. First number one will be Nexus. Second one will be the Tomcat. So these both will be very, very interesting tools to learn. So let's focus on them. Okay. On the top priority here, first of all, I'm gonna teach you about what is Nexus and why we need to use this. So basically, Nexus is an artifactory storage service. What is the meaning of artifact? Our files called like var file, jar file, year file will come as the artifactory. So to store this artifactory separately, we need to use the Nexus server. Now here you need to understand a concept. Sir, already we are storing the artifacts in our Jenkins server. Correct or not? But why we need to create some separate server to store artifact? Unfortunately, if you store your artifact in Jenkins, what will happen? It is gonna consume the storage. When the Jenkins is overloading with the storage, ultimately it can crash down or not, sir? That is the reason I am gonna put this artifactory in the Nexus. So if I open the paint here, let me show it in a pictorial way so that you can get some more clarity. So it's my general Jenkins server, which will store the artifacts in generally. So if I do continuous integration process, in general, my var file, like artifact, like var file and everything is gonna store here. Var file. It's my which server, guys? Jenkins, which server? If the server got lost, how can I get my artifacts back? So it is not recommended to maintain artifacts in the Jenkins. Why? Because Jenkins will have a lot of works to do. So if you maintain artifacts to here, it will be a big burden for it. Instead of maintaining the artifact in the Jenkins, I'm going to create a separate server for it. That is what I can call as Nexus. Which server? Whatever the Jenkins will do, storing of artifact, that same thing can be with the help of Nexus. Which one, guys? Nexus. So whenever the Nexus server is maintaining the artifacts, what is the ultimate advantage we are having? So Jenkins need not to maintain the artifacts anymore. Why? Because it is the work of my Nexus. And immediately whenever I want to roll back, I don't need to go for Jenkins. From the Nexus, I can able to roll back. So in real time, definitely Artifactory service is gonna be very, very important. Okay, this is the purpose of using Nexus. Now tell me, what is the purpose of using Nexus? To store the artifact separately. Why can't we store in Jenkins? We can store in Jenkins, but ultimately if something happened to Jenkins, we lost the artifacts. So maintain backup, we are going to provide for the Nexus. So this is an Artifactory storage service which can store artifact like jar file, var file and year file. So initially we create Nexus server. In that server, we are going to create the repos. Finally, we are going to store in the artifact. So we can use the server to do rollback in the real time. Why? Because this is maintaining the artifact. Simply I can go there, I can get the artifact, I can do the rollback. But this Nexus server will require T2 medium. So generally we use T2 macro, but this require T2 medium. So it is highly recommended to use the T2 medium. And coming to the Nexus, so it can use the Java version 1.8.0 and port number will be 8081. So this is the intro about the Nexus. And apart from Nexus, in real time, we can use JFrog or we can use, these will be the other alternatives than Nexus. But don't worry, I'm going to teach you all of them. S3 will be your AWS concept, which you are going to learn in upcoming days. JFrog, I'll show you how to set up the JFrog. And currently we are dealing with the, but again, I'm telling, if you use any one of them, it will be fine. No need to use all of them three. You can use any one of them, but I'm going to show you all of them three for you. So is the intro of Nexus clear for all of you now? Fine. All in, what about you? Can you please confirm, is the intro of Nexus clear for all of you or not? Here T2 medium is a instance type. Generally, if you go for instance type, what we get T2 micro, but here you are going to use T2 medium. Okay. So let me go in. Let me try to create the Nexus server. So currently you can go here. Slave 1 is on offline. Where it is on? We will discuss why it is offline later. But first of all, let me go and show you the Nexus setup. So click on launch instance. Now the name of the server will be Nexus. So I'm going to make it as Nexus. So for Jenkins, T2 micro is enough, Satya. But if you want, you can go for T2 medium. But T2 micro is absolutely fine for it. So I'll take Amazon Linux 2. Guys, I'm telling you again and again, lot of people still using Amazon Linux 2023 and telling, sir, we are getting issues. So I am seeing on Telegram channel also and offline people also, a lot of the people using it. My scripts and my class will be completely on Amazon Linux 2. So please use all of them. Okay. So instance type, what I need to use here? T2. T2 medium will get 2 CPUs and 4 GB of RAM. So to run the Nexus server, we definitely need to have 2 CPUs. T2 micro will offer only 1 CPU, but T2 medium will offer. That is the reason I'm going with the T2 medium. So key pair, we can take any one of the key pair. Take a slave key pair. Coming to existing security groups, let's take a security group 1. And this by default 8 GB is enough, but I'm taking 30 GB. Why? Because AWS will offer 30 GB of EBS volume. How much of GB? 30 GB. So I can take it. Click on launch information, like launch instance. The moment if you launch your EC2 instance, directly I can go to the Mobextrum and I can able to connect to it. So CD, desktop, key pair. But here one thing guys, I don't have key pair in this local machine. Why? Because last day I used some other laptop. Okay. But this time I don't have that laptop. So I lost my key pair. But even though if I lost my key pair, there is a possibility to retrieve. How means? If you remember in the last session, our slaves are using the same key pair, right? I can copy the key from my slave to this server. That is completely fine. Even though if we don't have key pair as of now, it's completely fine as of now. So now here I'm going to show you how to set up the Nexus. Why? Because like I can able to connect to my browser also. I'll be going here and I'll be connecting through the browser. So click on connect. And all of you know, I have the repository, GitHub, Raham Sheikh, all setups. Here you can go and you can search for the Nexus. Are you able to see Nexus here? It is the script actually. What I'm doing is I'm going to copy the script and I'm going to paste it. Generally, you know how much of time it required to set up Nexus? Generally, if you do manually. Let's go and ask ChatGPT. I'll ask ChatGPT. If you go and see here, try ChatGPT. I'm asking ChatGPT how much of time required to set up or like to install Nexus in server. Rough estimation will be 15 to 30 minutes. Are you able to see it? I'm clearly highlighting this one. If I go and see this one, how much of time is a rough estimation? 15 to. But you know how much of time we take? 20 seconds. 20 seconds is maximum enough to set up the Nexus. So how to set up this one? It is very easy. Let me go here and VIM nexus.sh. That's it. So if I run this one now, automatically my Nexus will run. And one more thing I'll tell you. Basically, if you run the script on browser and if you run the script on MobXterm will execute script very speedily. But here currently I'm using MobXterm or like a browser. For browser and MobXterm, you can see a buffer time of 5 seconds. MobXterm will execute script before 3 to 4 seconds, but browser will take additional 3 to 4 seconds. Okay, remember this point. I'm executing the script now. Okay, wait, sorry. I'm executing the script now here. So it is running. Are you able to see it now? Now I won't do anything. Automatically, my my browser is going to execute the script from the Nexus. And like this is the repository all you need to remember. Okay, my all setups. Here, every DevOps tool, what are the DevOps tools you are going to learn? For every DevOps tool, I have automated the scripts. You can use these scripts on your real time also. Of course, a lot of my students are using this on real time also, but even you can use them in your upcoming days. Is it done now? How much time it took? Roughly 20 seconds or roughly 25 seconds. But ChatGPT is telling how much of time? But how much time we took? 20 seconds. Now tell me one thing. Lot of people are having the fear of losing the job due to ChatGPT. But whereas ChatGPT taking 30 minutes, but we are taking, who is faster? We are ChatGPT. Raham sir. Okay. So guys, I'm telling you one thing. AI will not take your jobs until and unless you know how to use it. If you know how to use AI effectively, there is nothing to worry about your jobs. Of course, I'm gonna show you how to integrate AI to our DevOps. Okay, in upcoming days, I'm gonna tell you how to write the pipelines through the ChatGPT. But because if you learn my method and AI combined together, your work will be very, very easily automated. Okay, I'm gonna teach you the tips how to do it. Okay. So now in the slave, I don't want this one. Now here I want to connect to my Nexus server. Okay, so copy the public IP address and what is the port number, sir? 8081. But guys, if you give 8081, immediately it won't open Nexus. It will take 30 seconds of buffer time. How much of time? Of course, that 30 seconds I covered to speaking with you. But in your setup, if you do the setup and after 30 seconds only, your Nexus will be activated. It is at by default buffer time by the Nexus. So now if you go and see, you can see sign in option here. Click on sign in and username will be by default. You can read this one. What is the by default username? Admin. Next, password. Read about the password there. Hey man, like, read this one, man. Password is located in. What does it indicate? Path, correct. So it is telling that. So your admin is your username. Okay. But password is located in this path of your server. Just like Jenkins will have the path to retrieve the password or not, sir. Nexus will follow the same thing. So copy this location, go to your Nexus server, give the command cat, paste this path. Automatically you will get some password. Okay. Copy this one and just paste it here. That's it. So while pasting, make sure you are not having any kind of spaces. So here incorrect username. Are you seeing the space here? So this is one of the mistake you are gonna do. Mistakes are very small, but it will take some hours to understand for you. Okay, that is the reason I'm showing mistakes lively for you. So don't do these mistakes. I'm reviewing this one. Click on sign in. Are you able to log into the Nexus now? Very simple. And here I have given the path to login also. So steps, click on sign in option. Next, username, admin. Password will be presenting on this path. And next, click on next. You need to set your own password. So now every time you cannot go and give that very lengthy password. Na? So go and set your own password. I am giving the password as Raham123. Some static password. So click on next. So now here you have two options. Enable anonymous access, disable anonymous access. Which one is better to select? Disable. If I click on enable anonymous access, everybody can able to access. But I don't want this Nexus server to access by anyone. Only I want to access. So click on disable anonymous access. Okay. So if you see here, disable anonymous access should be chosen with care. It required credential for all user and build. That means if you want to log into your Nexus server, you need to have username and password. But if you disable anonymous access, okay, I need to click on this one. But if you enable, that means by default, user can access, download, browse any component with your credentials. Without credentials here, are you able to see? Without credential, anybody can do anything. I don't want it. Click on next. Click on finish. There you go. Now, if you go and see, here, this is the default dashboard for my Nexus. Now here, what we are going to create? We are going to create a repository. What we are going to create, sir? Now, how to create the repository? I'm going to show you. So click on this settings symbol. Are you able to see it now? Click on this one. Are you seeing the repositories? Go here. So click on create repository. And one more thing, the entire process I have given here. Click on setting symbol. Click on repository. Click on new. Now here I need to select Maven to hosted. What I need to select it? So if I go to Maven to hosted, where is Maven? Yeah, here you can see. Wait. I can able to see it. Here this is not moving, okay? So you can go inside using Maven to hosted. Guys, you have three options here. Maven to, let me create new one. You can see Maven to group, Maven to hosted, Maven to proxy. But which one you gonna select? Maven to hosted. So repository name, I'm gonna give it as Netflix. But of course, you can give your name also. It doesn't matter. And coming to here next, directly you can go and you can click on create repository. That's it. Very simple process. Again, I'll explain one more time. First of all, it is a dashboard for you. So you need to click on settings. Next, you need to click on repos. Finally, you need to click on create repo. Next, which one you're going to select? Maven to hosted. So next, you need to give the name. So name can be anything. It doesn't matter. Next, finally, you need to click on create repository. That's it. So it's the concept of creating repo and setting the nexus. Clear for all of you know? Online, can you please confirm is the nexus setup and configuration of repo clear for all of you or not? Can you please confirm in chat box? Online, I'm not getting response from all of you today. I know it's a weekend, you might have a lot of plans. So Kiran, basically, I'll tell you one thing. You need not to ask link to anyone. So Naresh IT will provide an application for you. If you register to that application, daily link will be provided to you in that application only. Okay. So download the Naresh IT app and register through your email and password. Okay. So daily you are going to get the links. Hope it is clear for you. And what is the difference between Amazon Linux 2023 and Amazon Linux 2? Both will be Linux platform only, but packages will differ. Okay. Hope it is clear for you. How to set up Nexus manually? Go and run the command individually. For example, if you go and see, if you want me to show manual, first of all, what you gonna do? You are going to copy this command, go to your server, run it here. Okay, that's it. So if you go and see, click on paste. Wait, I think it got stuck here. Here I need to do it. Next, again, if you want to do manually, again, go to the script, copy this command, come to your server, paste it. Again, next go to the script. Next, tell me, copy that command, paste it. So it is the way how you are going to do the manual setup. Okay, but you prefer manual setup? Huh? No. Hope it is clear for you. Okay. So guys, in real time, I'll no. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. Like session got disconnected. Fine. So now here you can go and you can see my repository is there, and I'll be having the Nexus 2. So now what is my requirement? I want to store the artifactories in my Nexus. But by default, artifactories is going to store on where? Jenkins. Now, how you are going to transfer the artifact from the Jenkins to Nexus? So as a DevOps engineer, what is our first primary goal? To automate anything. You need to automate anything. It doesn't matter what work it is. Your first and primary goal is to automate. What is the primary goal of Dhoni? To finish the game. Correct or not also? Here also, DevOps engineer primary goal is to automate. You know, DevOps engineers are called as captains of organization. You know this one? The reason why I compare with Dhoni means we are the captains. Why? Because without intimating to us, nobody cannot do anything. If developer want to change the code, they need to inform us. If tester want to do testing, they need to inform us. And if data scientists want to run any kind of test case, they need to inform us. Why? Because we have the every servers. If they want to do anything, they need to connect to servers. Who will manage the servers? That means every decision need to be informed to the DevOps. Without intimating to DevOps, if you do anything, we are not responsible for it. We will not do any kind of action for it. Okay. So definitely I'm telling you, DevOps is called as captain of any organization. Why? Because without DevOps, there will be no automation. If there is no automation, we are going to waste a lot of time and money or not, sir? Without DevOps, there is no deployments. Without DevOps, there is no server management. Okay. So remember, if you are a DevOps engineer, means your primary goal is to automate everything, and you can be called as captains. Okay. Fine. Maven is a tool or not? It's a very difficult question. Huh? Already we seen Maven, Sushmita. It's a tool. Okay. It's a build tool, what we can call as. So guys, here you can go and let me explain you how to configure this one. And I'm just going here to retrieve my credentials. Already I have the credentials here. Screen not coming. Huh? Okay. I'll turn it on one more time. Alan, give me a couple of minutes. So guys, already you know the pipeline stages, right? Continuous integration pipeline stage. Tell me the pipeline stage of continuous integration. Code, build, test, artifact, deploy, right? But before deploy, you are going to provide the manual input. Already we discussed, right? Now, before manual input, you need to integrate the Nexus stage. What you need to integrate? So let me show you how to do it. In the meanwhile, let me turn this on. And the configuration will take some time. So I'll make it very easy for you to understand. So don't worry. If you go and see, are you seeing the stage of the artifact here? Very weak configuration or not, sir? But again, you need not to worry about this configuration. I'm gonna show it very, very easily for you. Okay. But while I'm explaining, so make sure you are listening to it. Again, ultimately, the network issue is coming today. I clicked pipeline long ago, but it's still loading. So click on configuration. But before I go to the configuration, I'll take this duplicate tab. So guys, here you are going to add the new stage. What I'm going to add here? That stage is called as Nexus, or you can call it as Artifactory Uploader. Anything is fine. You can name it as Nexus, or you can name it as Artifactory Uploader, or you can call it as Nexus Uploader. Stage name is up to our convenience. Okay, you can put whatever the stage you want. So I'm trying to configure the pipeline. It's loading very badly. So if you go to the configuration here, now I'm going to remove this build periodically everything here. I don't want them. So post build actions also I don't want. So I'm going to remove this one. So it is normal general like continuous integration pipeline. So before deploy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the stage called Nexus. Okay, Nexus, or you can call it as Artifactory Uploader. Anything is fine. So here I need to write here steps. Now here you need to write the script to upload the Nexus from Jenkins server to Jenkins to Nexus. So guys, remember, if you are integrating any of the tool to the Jenkins, you need to download the plugin. What we are going to download? plugin. So now I'm going to show you how to download the plugin. If you go to dashboard, in the dashboard, you need to go for manage Jenkins. Already you know what is a plugin? It's a small software which can automate the manual work. Okay. So currently I'm installing Nexus. So I'm going to download the Nexus plugin. In future, if I install Tomcat, I'm going to download the Tomcat plugin. No, sir, in future, if I want to install Terraform, I'm going to download the Terraform plugin. Which tool you want to integrate? You are going to download the. Of course, you can ask me, sir, you integrated Git and Maven also, na? But why you haven't downloaded the plugin? Why? Because Git and Maven are the default plugins. If you remember, while creating the Jenkins server and while setting up, by default, some plugins will come. If you observe, there you can go and see the Git and Maven. If you don't get a chance, try to see it on the next time when you set up the Jenkins. Okay. So now how to download the plugin? So click on Manage Jenkins and wait for some time. Why? Because the internet is too slow. It's like we are integrating Jenkins and Nexus. Yes, correct, Akhil. Taking a lot of time. So here, if you can go and see, are you seeing the plugins here? In the plugin, you can go for the available plugin. Okay. So you can go for the notes here. And guys, these notes I have given for your clarity only. So let me write them here. So Nexus integration with the pipeline. So first of all, download the plugin called Nexus Artifactory Upload. This is the plugin name. But if you want to download, first of all, you need to go for Manage Jenkins. Next to go for in the plugin, you need to go to available plugin section. Which section? So if you type Nexus there, automatically you can get the plugin. Of course, it's testing our patience. So, but we don't have any other alternative. And one other thing is due to this one, if you observe, lot of the areas in the recent days I'm talking, internet is completely shut down. If you see the notes, sorry, if you see the like news actually, almost all 75% of Geo users claimed the complaint. Why? Because it's not issue from our end, it's issue from like global network actually. So we don't have any other alternative. Sometime if it is down, we cannot do anything. Even I faced a lot of issues to the network. While I'm speaking with the call, sometime I'm not able to speak properly. Why? Because suddenly the network is dropped off. So we cannot do anything about it. Okay. So now click on available plugins. In the available plugins, what is the name of the plugin you want to access? Nexus. So in the available section, let it reload. And in the meanwhile, I'll ask one question for all of you. Our project information is maintaining on which file? No, correct. Which file it is? pom.xml will maintain the project information. Now here you are going to take the pom.xml help. Why? Because without pom.xml, you cannot configure the information. So in the meanwhile, I'll go ahead and open my source code GitHub, DevOps by Raham, Jenkins Java project. So here if you can go ahead and see, I'm seeing pom.xml here. So this information we are going to provide now. Okay. So I'll explain how to provide this one. So what is the name of the plugin? Nexus Artifactory Uploader. Select this one and click on install. That's it. So the plugin will download and install. In the meanwhile, I'll be clicking on pipeline syntax. Are you seeing this one? Why? Because whenever if you are integrating Jenkins with any other tool, you need to use pipeline syntax. If you don't use pipeline syntax, you cannot able to create the syntax. See, it is very difficult to remember this complete syntax or not, sir. That is the reason why we are going to take the pipeline syntax reference. Okay. It's taking almost all 1 hour, like 1 minute to reload. Is it done now? Now if it is done, you can go back to the top page, okay? So you can directly go back. So once if you go back now, open the pipeline here. In the pipeline now, I'm going to integrate the Nexus. So to take the reference of Nexus syntax, what I'm going to click on here, pipeline syntax, correct. So in the pipeline syntax, now you are going to open page like this. So now here, what exactly I'm going to do is, I'm going to select the plugin called Nexus. Are you able to see it now? Nexus. Guys, if you download the plugin, then only this option will come. Otherwise, it is not going to come for you. Again, I'm telling in the sample step, select here, just type Nexus. Automatically, it will come. So if I want to get this here, first of all, I need to download the plugin. I think all of you know how to download the plugin now. Now go here. Coming to the Nexus version. Currently, which version of Nexus we are using now? 3.69. So here just go and give the Nexus version 3. And protocol for Nexus, are we using HTTP or HTTPS? HTTP. By default, browser will come with HTTP. Only if you want me to show, I'll copy this one and I'll paste it in the screen itself. What is the protocol there? If you want to remember the protocols, I'll tell you one simple thing for you. Are you seeing the lock symbol? Is lock enabled or disabled there? If it is disabled, it is HTTP. But if you go to this side, is it enabled now? That means it is HTTPS. Now tell me, here lock is disabled, HTTP or HTTPS? Come here and select HTTP only. Okay, you have two options, HTTP and HTTPS, but I'm going for HTTP. Coming to Nexus URL, copy the public IP address and give it here. So only public IP address and port number, that's it. So it's my public IP and it is my port number. That's it. Nexus version is 3. Protocol, HTTP. Nexus URL means public IP and port number. Now coming to the credentials, click on add credentials. Now username and password. What is the Nexus username here? Admin. Coming to the password, I need to select here Raham123. Okay, that's it. And ID I am using Nexus. Why? Because ID is for identification only. So I mean, like description also you can add. Add. So it is for my Nexus. That's it. So Nexus version 3, HTTP, URL, credentials. That's it. Coming to group ID, artifact ID. So guys, already you have pom.xml. In the pom.xml, what is your group ID? In.raham. Now if I go here and in the pipeline syntax, I'll be giving this one. Version, what is the application version now? 1.2.2. Okay. You can change this version also if you want. Coming to next year, repository. What is the repository we create on the Nexus server? Netflix. So you need to give it here, okay? I am going here and giving Netflix. That's it. And coming to the next year artifact, click on add artifact. What is our artifact ID? Again, go to the pom.xml. Are you seeing artifact ID here? Netflix. Type of artifact. What is the artifact type here? WAR file. Okay. Coming to the file. File means, sir, your artifact is going to store on which place of your Jenkins server? Inside target folder. Correct or not, sir? If you go and log into your Jenkins server, for example, it is my, okay, wait, let me log into my Jenkins. I mean, basically it's not required to show, but I'll show for you. Wait. Let me add this one in the middle. Target / my artifact name will be Netflix -1.2.2.var. Why? Because already I know this name, so I'm giving it. But if you log into here, you can see the same name what I have given in the configuration section. So go here, just to go sudo -i and cd var lib Jenkins workspace, name of the job. Any job is fine. So I'm giving the name of the job here. Are you seeing target folder? If I give LL target, you can see var file now. Are you seeing the var file here? That means your Netflix var file is on target folder. That is the reason I have given target / Netflix. So you can go here and you can provide on the syntax. So inside target, it is a var file. Okay, make sure you don't have any spaces between slash and Netflix. So again, I'll explain the configuration one more time. In the sample step, what you're gonna select? Nexus. What is the version of Nexus? 3. No, 3 is fine. 0.6 and like it's not required. Protocol and Nexus URL, IP address and port number. Now coming to credential, by default username will be admin, password is up to your customization. Group ID you can get from pom.xml. Version you can get from pom.xml. Repository means whatever the repository you configured in the Nexus server, you need to give it. Coming to artifact ID, you can get from pom.xml. Type of the artifact you can get from pom.xml. It is var file. So file means wherever var file is located. My var file is located on target slash Netflix -1.2.2.var. That's it. If you do everything and if you click on generate pipeline script, have you got the script? Simply copy the script. Go here to the pipeline and paste it here. Oh, sorry. And one more thing, guys, there is a bug in this new version of this sample step. If you directly click on configure, like a copy now, I'm clicking it here. And if I try to paste it here, am I able to paste? No, it's not working recent days, but previous version of Jenkins, it's working very fine. So now if you want to select, place your cursor, Control A, Control C, and you Control V. So now click on save. So now if you click on save, automatically whatever the configuration you have given, that configuration will come to my pipeline. But guys, remember the only thing you need to understand is here. What you need to understand here? You need to integrate it with the pipeline. What we need to integrate with? Pipeline. Okay, pipeline syntax actually. So if you don't use pipeline syntax, it will become very, very difficult you to configure the things. Tell me one thing, will you able to remember all of this configuration? For every tool in Jenkins, if you want to integrate with Jenkins, step number 1 is downloading the plugin. Step number 2 is using the sample step. For every tool in DevOps, currently I am showing this one. In future, if I show you Tomcat, same process. Later, if I show you Docker, same process. Later, if I show you Ansible, same process. Or later, if I show you some other tool called Kubernetes, again, same process. So remember, to integrate with Jenkins, what are the 2 steps you need to perform? Download the plugin, use the sample syntax. I mean, like sample syntax means you can call it as pipeline syntax also. Write these 2 points in the index page of your notes. All of you. So to integrate any tool with Jenkins, download the plugin. Download the plugin and use pipeline syntax. Okay. So now here if I click on build now, automatically Jenkins will schedule a build. But the build is running now. So you can go and check it here. So check out build, test, artifact, everything will come to the normal one. Build got failed. What might be the reason for build got failed? If you want to check, place your cursor here, click on logs. So you can see spelling is wrong. Already in last class, I showed you some spelling mistake, right? That is the reason. So now what you gonna do? Click on configure, change the name. So instead of COMPIL, just use COMPILE. Okay. Taking a lot of time. So now go here and see this one, MVN compile. Are you seeing it now? So this is the reason why the build got failed. So everything look fine now. So I'll be going to click on save and I'll be going to click on build now. Okay. And one more thing here, it is our repository. By default for our repository, disable redeploy is enabled. I'll talk about what is the meaning of disable redeploy. Disable redeploy means you cannot deploy the same var file next time to this repository. By default, it is disabled, but I'll show you how to enable. Okay. So let me go here and I can run this build. If we create EC2 instance and practicing, no, it's not like that, Vikram. It's not related to that anything. Okay. Might be while you are restarting and connecting to your server, the service might be very slow. I mean, like your internet provider, I'm talking. So checkout done. Build is on the way. Testing done. Artifactory done. Nexus done. Sir, how much of time it took to upload the Artifactory Nexus? Only 1 second or not, sir? That's it. So now if you go here in the Artifactory of Nexus, so in this repository, now you are having the artifact. So let me refresh this one first of all. If I refresh, you can go and see this one. So it is my repository. Okay, Nexus, sorry, Netflix is my repository. If you go and check this one, are you seeing the URL here? Copy this URL. If you copy this URL and paste it any of the browser, now you are going to get the browse option, or you can use HTML index. Anything is fine. I'm clicking on browse, or you can go for HTML index. Click here. Are you seeing in Raham, Netflix 1.2.2? Are you seeing the WAR file now? Currently, our WAR file is inside the Nexus or not, sir? It is the one way. But if I click on browse option, in the browse also, you are going to get the same thing now. Let me show you. I shown you index HTML index view. Now in the browse option, it is automatically coming. Are you able to see it now? Currently is your WAR file inside the Nexus or not, sir? If I click inside the WAR file, even though if I want to my local, I can able to download to my local. Okay. So if you can go and see, so this is currently in your Nexus. So if I click on this link, automatically my WAR file is downloading. Are you able to see the WAR file? So like that. So of course you can download it from your Jenkins also, but this is the way how you can download. So now even though if your Jenkins lost the WAR file, do you still have the WAR file in our Artifactory or not, sir? From here you can deploy the application. Okay, let me show you. Currently it is my Jenkins server. Inside my Jenkins, I'm intentionally removing the WAR file. RM minus RF. Complete target folder I'm removing. What I'm removing? Wait, sir. RM minus RF. Target. Do you have target here anywhere? Without target. Without target. Can I able to see WAR file in Jenkins? No, but if you go to Nexus, Nexus will still maintain your WAR file. If you refresh here, after refreshing also, I can be able to see the WAR file. Why? Because it already uploaded to the Nexus. If you still WAR file residing on your Artifactory server, this is the primary function why we need to use the Nexus. So is the concept of using Nexus clear for all of you know? Online, can you please confirm is the Nexus concept? Why we are using clear for all of you or not? Yes. Okay. So now if I try to click on build now one more time, so automatically again from code, build, test, everything will perform. But this time Nexus will fail. What will happen? Nexus will. Of course, there is a reason I'll tell you. Why? Because if you select this one in the logs, you can see if you come here, read this one, it got failed. What happened here? Transferring failed. The reason why the transferring is failed, you know, by default for our like Netflix repository, redeploy policy is disabled. Redeploy policy is, that means if you put a var file first time, second time it won't allow to take the var file. So if I click on allow redeploy, then if I click on save, now automatically what will happen? If I click on build now, this time it will redeploy automatically. Let me show you. Click on build now. I'm building it now. Previously it got failed, but now it is going to be successed. Just go and check it here. Is it done now? You can see the bug. Here I got the success, but still it is showing the buffer time. Okay. So it is having some bugs. It's okay. Is the artifact deployed or not, sir? First time it took 1 second, but second time it took only 5 milliseconds. That means half of the time. Correct or not, sir? But if you want to do this process manually, it will take 4 minutes for your manual process. But we are doing within 1 second. Correct or not, sir? That's it. So this is an high level overview about the Nexus. That's it. So again, I'll recap everything for you. So listen here. If you miss the introduction section online, if anyone of you, so try to listen now. Nexus is an artifact storage service, which is used to store the artifacts in the repository. What are the artifacts? Jar file, var file. Here. So if I create the Nexus server, inside I have the repo, I'm going to store the artifact. So we can use this server to do rollback in the real time. So it requires T2 medium. Why? Because minimum requirement is 2 CPUs and 2 GB of RAM. But T2 micro will give only 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM. So Nexus uses Java 1.8.0 and the port number is 80. Apart from Nexus, what are the other alternatives we are having? JFrog and S3. So to set up, it is the repository. Go here and you need to copy the nexus.sh to your local. So after that, if you want to sign in, click on sign in. By default, username will be admin and password will be on this location. So if you click on next, you can set your own password and you need to click on disable anonymous. That's it. So if you want to create repo, click on setting symbol, go for repository, select new, select Maven to hosted and name will be anything and click on save. Node point. What is the node point? To integrate any tool with Jenkins, we are going to download the plugin. After that, if you want to integrate like pipeline to your Nexus, so download the plugin called Nexus Artifactory Uploader. Now click on Manage Jenkins, plugins, available plugins, select here Nexus Artifactory Uploader. Now to configure it to the pipeline, we are going to use pipeline syntax and the node point. All the information will be provided to the, that's it. Okay, if you miss initial part, it is the backup for you. Fine. Have you got the clarity now, all of you? Okay. So next one is gonna be Tomcat. Which one? Before I explain you Tomcat, in last class I said you 1 point for all of you. What is that point? Whenever I ask you response, you need to give response by your. But what you are using now? How can I understand, sir? Okay. So whenever I ask response now, so please speak out a little bit, okay? At least yes, sir. It's enough, okay? Sir is also not required. Yes is enough, okay? Fine. So the next one is gonna be Tomcat. Have you ever heard about Tomcat? What is a Tomcat? Don't tell cartoon, huh? Because in one of the batch I asked, do you know Tomcat? Yes, sir, I know. He said Tomcat is a cartoon. Of course, good joke, but we are not getting love, okay? Fine. So now here, if I come to the Tomcat, guys, Tomcat is very, very easy. But first of all, you need to understand something. I'll tell you this one. So go and see here. I'm opening something called as Amazon website, okay? So tell me one thing. Is it a website or is it a web application? Huh? Website. Hey, it's gone. Wait. Restore this tab. Now tell me, is it a website or is it a web application? Hey, what happening, man, to it? Buckets. Wait, let me go to something fancy. I'll go for mobiles. Looks good to see, at least. So is it a website or web application? Web application. Huh? How many of you say website and how many of you say web application? Raise your hands, the people who said it is website. Raise your hands when it's completely fine. Not like this, huh? Like this. Raise your hands. You required some time, huh, to discuss. Okay. How many of you say it is web application? Raise your hands now. So rest of the people, I can say it's website. So it's 60-40 ratio. Okay. Tell me one thing. All of you are graduated, right? No, no. Of course, some of the people are still pursuing, I know. What is the difference between website and web application? This is the basic thing. You use lot of website and use lot of web applications. What are the difference between them? Question is very easy, but answer is very difficult. Take your time. I'll give some time for you. Huh? Online, if you know the answer, you can ping me on comment section in the meanwhile. What is the difference between website and web application? Uh, Website is static. Okay. What is the meaning of static? Constant. If you go to Naresh IT website, for every week you are going to see new course or not, sir? It is not static. Eh? Uh, Completely wrong again. Durga, like your answer is wrong. Web application need to download app and use. Okay. But if you go to YouTube, YouTube we can use from mobile also, right? And we can use from browser also. Then how can you describe it? I'll tell you one small difference. Only one small difference. Now you can able to identify. See, if you call something as website, it will have only front end code, and database is optional. Websites need not to have database. But if you call something as web application, that must need to have front end code and back end code, and database is very, very mandatory. This is the only difference. Of course, we have a lot of differences, but these two are primary differences. So website will be having which code, and database is optional. For web application, we have both front end and but database is the difference is clear for all of you know? Yes. Okay. So now here Tomcat is a web application server. What is Tomcat here? That means it's a web application server used to deploy Java applications. No need to deploy Java applications. Of course, you can deploy Python applications also. Okay. But generally, it supports Java. Like majorly, if you can go and see, already we discussed a application can be consist of a number of programming languages. Correct or not, sir? So for this Tomcat, we need to install Java 11. Of course, no need to install Java 11. Java 1.8.0 is also going to be supporting. I am using Java here. Why? Because version can be 11 or 1.8.0 or even Java 17 also. Coming to the port number, the Tomcat port number is 8080. Correct? And we can deploy our artifact. That means whatever the artifact is stored on the Nexus, you can deploy it into the Tomcat. It is free and open source. Then it is platform independent, but this is written on Java language. It comes in the year 1999. Again, I'll explain one more time. So it is free and open source, and it is platform. Very important point or not, sir? Okay. So Tomcat is a web application server used to deploy the Java apps. So we need to install Java. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Why? Because this is completely written on the Java language. Which language? Okay. So next, the port number is 8080. So we can deploy our artifacts. Any artifact you can deploy jar, var, and year. It's free and open source, and this platform independent. So it comes in the year which year? 1999. and it was given by the Apache Software Foundation. So coming to this one, WAR files you are going to deploy on Tomcat web apps folder. That means inside Tomcat you are having the web apps folder. If you want to deploy WAR file, you need to go to web apps. But if I want to deploy jar file, I need to go to the Tomcat lib folder. This is the difference. In interview, they are going to ask you a question. In which path you are going to deploy the WAR file, web apps? In which path you are going to deploy the jar files? Answer is libs. And apart from Tomcat, in real time, we can use Nginx, we can use IIS, we can use Google WebSphere, we can use JBoss, we can use this all will be considered as the alternative for the Tomcat. But among them, the most used one in the real time is going to be Tomcat only. Which one? So this is the introduction of Tomcat. Now you need to understand one point. If you want to deploy any application in real time, you need to have a web application server. Which server? That web application server, or you can call it as app server. So guys, I am telling this one. You can call it as web application server, or you can call it as application server, or even you can call it as app server. Anything you can see here, web app or only app server. The ultimate answer is going to be your Tomcat. Of course, if you are not using Tomcat in real time, you can use Nginx, IIS, WebSphere, JBoss, and Glassfish. Correct. So Apache is a web server, HTTPD. Okay, that is the thing you need to understand. Here, web server is for website, app server is for web applications. Okay, so remember this one. So is the intro of Tomcat clear for all of you now? What is the importance of Tomcat? To deploy the applications. If we don't have Tomcat, we cannot deploy the application. Okay. So now coming to the setup here. So guys, Tomcat setup is very, very easy. Okay. Already we are having the slaves, right? In the slaves, you can install Tomcat. In the slaves, you can install. Now, sir, if I want to install Tomcat on some separate server, it is absolutely fine. But I'm installing on slaves here. So if I connect to one of my slave here, I'm gonna remove all of them. I don't want any one of thing here. Let me remove all of them. Repositories I'm removing. This pipeline script I can state here. So it's my Nexus. I don't want Nexus also. It's my Jenkins. Even I don't want Jenkins. So here I'm gonna connect to one of the slave. This slave can be anything. Slave 1 or slave 2. So I'll connect to the slave 1 here as of now. Guys, Tomcat installation will take 5 steps. How many steps? So we have 2 methods, manual and automation. First of all, I'm going to explain manual method. So then later on, I can go for automation. Okay. So is the commands are visible for all of you for this terminal? Everybody. Okay. I try to increase some font size for you. Let me go to 110. So first command here is to install Java 11, but already we slaves have Java 11, correct or not, sir? So even though if I try to install, it won't take. Why? Because in my slaves already I installed Java 11 in the master and slave concept. Okay. So, but I'll show you for you. So go here sudo -i. What is happening here now? Go ahead and check. These slaves are only here. I installed Java 11 already. Okay, fine. So I installed Java 11 here. Next, I'm going to download the Tomcat. So guys, Tomcat is available on the internet publicly. If you go to dlcdn.apache.org to this path, let me show you. dlcdn.apache.org. If I go to the path, it will show me the complete products of the Apache software company. Okay, it's a software foundation which is free and open source. Here you can go select the Tomcat. If you scroll here, just to go and give Tomcat. TQRST. Are you able to see it now? Okay, but if it is very difficult to find, just type dlcdn.apache.org/Tomcat. If you do slash Tomcat automatically, you can come. Okay, Tomcat spelling is wrong. Wait. TOMCAT. Okay. So Tomcat will have a lot of versions. Version 9, 8, 11, and 10. I'm going for version 9, but you can go to 10 and 11 also. Now here, guys, these versions will keep changing. Currently, what is the version? 9.0.89 and 90. But after a few weeks, you can see 9.0.91 and 9.0.92. So remember, these versions will change for every week. Okay. So currently I'm using 9.0.90. Go for the bin directory. And you can see something called as tar file. Are you seeing tar.gz? If you right click on this, you are going to get the copy link. Seeing copy link? If you copy that link and if you come to your server and if you give wget and paste that link. Wget will stand for webget. That means from internet, if you want to download this file to your server, you are going to use the command called wget. Hit enter. Automatically now Tomcat is showing the var file. I mean, it's a tar file. Are you seeing tar file here? So this is the step number 2. Step number 1 is installing Java 11. Step number 2 is downloading the Tomcat. For my previous class, I used 9.0.87, but I need to use 9.0.90. So I'm using 90. Okay. So next here you are going to extract the files. Sir, currently the Tomcat configuration is on the tar file. Which file? I want to extract. So the extraction command will be tar-zxvf. Just to give a tab, automatically Apache Tomcat will come. If I give LL now, I can be able to see the Tomcat folder. Are you able to see it now? So step number 1 is what here? Downloading the Tomcat. Step number 2 is extracting the file. What is the command? tar-zxvf Apache Tomcat 9.0.89.tar.gz. Of course, it is 90. Let me replace 90. Fine. So next here, you are going to configure the username, password, and roles to log into the Tomcat server. So how to do it means you have the file called configuration folder. Which folder? Inside Apache Tomcat folder, go for configuration folder, modify the Tomcat user.xml file. So let me go to the console. Let me increase some other font size for you. Wait. Okay. So now give the command VM inside Apache Tomcat. Go for the configuration folder. I have the file called tomcat user.xml. Tomcat users. If I hit enter, if I go to the last line, shift G. Are you seeing these lines here? Tomcat, role, username. Are you able to see them? So here you are going to copy paste some lines. I'll tell you what are the lines you want to copy paste. Wait. Go here. Now you can see currently I'm on line number where 50 exactly. So what exactly you're going to do is now you are going to copy them and you are going to paste it here. Okay. So copy the line number 50, 51 and 52. Copy them. Or you can use the command 3yy. 3yy. So next, if you come back here in the line number 56, exactly, you want to paste them. What is the command to paste? P. That's it. And remove the additional line here. So after that, now here you are going to give, sir, here you are going to give the role names. So if I want to log into my Tomcat, I need to use the role names called manager GUI. Role number 1. Why? Because if I want to access the graphical user interface of Tomcat, I need to use manager GUI role. Second one is manager script. Manager script. Without these two roles, you cannot access the Tomcat and you cannot able to see the dashboard. So by default, the username will be Tomcat. But now if I want to change the password, so password I'm giving here Raham123. What I'm giving? Raham123. Now coming to the roles here, what are the roles I have created here? Manager GUI is my role number 1. Role number 2 will be manager script. So guys, spellings are very, very important. So you need not to worry about anything. Why? Because I have given everything in your notes there. Wait. Manager GUI. Second one will be manager script. Manager script. That's it. So again, I'm telling, go to line number 50, copy the first three lines and paste them on line number 56, 57, 58. Here I have given line number 56, 57 and what is the role name here? GY. Manager script. Username is Tomcat, password is Ram123 and roles are manager GY. Comma is important and space is also important. Second one is manager script. That's it. Now save it now. After saving this, now you need to delete two lines in the configuration file. In the Apache Tomcat, I have a folder called manager. No, it's not manager. The folder name will be web apps. Which one? Inside web apps, I have manager. Inside that, I am going to have the file called context.xml. Meta-nf context.xml. So in this file, you are going to remove the line number 21 and 22. So these are the line number 21 and 22. Okay. So give 2dd. 2dd means you are going to remove two lines. That's it. And finally, start the script. How to start the script? sh inside Tomcat folder. I have the bin folder. Just to give the command startup.sh. If I give this one, is a Tomcat started no? So now you can copy the public IP address of your slave server and you are going to access the Tomcat by the port number 80. Guys, you might have a doubt. Sir, already 8080 is for Jenkins or not, sir? But Jenkins is running on Jenkins server. Tomcat is running on slave server. And in real time, you don't install both of them on the same server. You need to install them on different servers. So click on Manager App. What is the username here? Tomcat. What is the password? Am I able to log into my Tomcat dashboard now? Are you able to see it or not? That's it. So now again, I'll explain one more time this topic for you. So listen, first of all, create a server and install Java 11 on them. Step number 1 is what? Downloading the Tomcat. Step number 2 is extracting the file. What is the command? tar-zxvf and Tomcat folder. Now in step number 3, I'm going to configure username, password and what is the role number 1 here? Manager GY. Role number 2, manager. Why we are using the roles? To see the dashboard and to access the dashboard of Tomcat. Username is Tomcat. Password is Ram123 and I need to give the 2 roles here. But here space is very mandatory. And in step number 4, I'm going to delete the line number 21 and 22 in this path. And finally, to start the Tomcat, we need to run the script. sh is the command to run the script. Give Apache Tomcat in startup. If you see this command and paste as it is to your browser, your server, you are going to get the Tomcat setup start. Now coming to the connection, copy the public IP address and port number will be 80. If you are not able to connect, please check you have the all traffic or not. Okay. So now click on Manager Apps, click on username will be Tomcat and password will be Raham123. So is the concept of Tomcat setup clear for all of you or not, sir? Clear? Again, you forgot. Nice. Okay. So online, is the concept of setting the Tomcat clear for all of you know? Can you please confirm me? So basically, if you go and see, currently how we set up the Tomcat, manual or automation? Manual. How much time it takes, it? Let's take 10 minutes, correct? But I'm gonna show the automation script now. What I'm gonna show now? Sir, automation script will take only exactly 1 second. How many seconds? Trust me, automation will take only exactly 1 second. So already if you remember in demos I said the automation script, right? If you remember. Let me copy the script here. I am gonna connect to my slave 2. I am connecting to my slave 2. Here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run the script, but let me check do I have Java or not. Java is there, no? So vim tomcat.sh. Guys, in real time, you never ever set up manually. But the reason why I show manual setup is Without understanding the steps of manual, you cannot do anything automation. That is the reason I'm telling. But I don't recommend any one of you to do manual work. But for your practice, you can do 1 or 2 times. But in real time, you are going to do the automation. So now if I click on sh tomcat.sh, within only 1 second, your Tomcat is ready. But again, I said browser will take some time execution. Okay, is your Tomcat ready now? If you execute the same thing on the Mobaxterm, it will be very speed, but browser will take 2 to 3 seconds difference from the Mobaxterm. Now copy the public IP address. What is the port number of Tom? 8080. Now you are going to get the Tomcat to your browser. How to connect? Click on manage apps. What is the username, sir? Password I have given Raham123 for the script only. Okay. Hit enter. Now currently, are you able to see the Tomcat or not, sir? So now automation took how many seconds? 1 second. So do you need to remember the manual process now? No. Why? Because in real time, if you go and ask a lot of people, they don't know how to set up manually. Some person, some X person will write the script. They will use the script and they but because some people think ChatGPT is more advanced and more better and it can take off our jobs, right? I want to give some better insights for them. That is the reason, okay? Or otherwise, I don't have any issue with Sam Altman. So I'm just asking ChatGPT how much of time it can take. How much of time required to install Tomcat in EC2? Yeah, I'm correcting it. So you can go and check based upon several factors: launching EC2 instance, connecting, installing Java, downloading and installing. Okay, let's wait. Typically, how many minutes, sir? But for us, how many seconds? 1 second. So approximately, let's take 1 minute. Launching EC2 instance will take 30 seconds. This will take 1 second. Approximately, let's take 1 minute. That means we are automating the most of the task here or not, sir? That's it. Okay, my only intention is to make sure that ChatGPT will not take off your jobs. If ChatGPT try to take your job, ChatGPT is taking 15 minutes, but you are doing it on which one is efficient? Your ChatGPT. Of course, from me, you are also efficient, okay? Okay. So, guys, is the process of setting the Tomcat clear for all of you know. Online, can you please confirm is the automation of a Tomcat clear for all of you know? Just automating means copy the script from my browser, I mean like from my GitHub, paste it on your servers and run them automatically. That's it. So this is the session for today's class. So in today's class, what we have seen? Nexus and Tomcat. So interview question from Nexus. What is Nexus? Why we need to use it? What are the requirements and what is the port number? These 4 questions will come. Nexus is an artifactory service to store the artifacts in the repositories. Like question number 2, what is the port number of Nexus? Question number 3, what is the requirement of Nexus? Minimum 2 CPUs and 2 GB of RAM. So TT medium you can say directly. 4th one will be, how do you integrate Nexus to the pipeline? Already I said, to integrate any tool to the Jenkins, download the plugin and use the pipeline syntax. And one more question you can expect is alternative of Nexus. JFrog, S3. So these 5 questions will be the part of the Nexus. And coming to the Tomcat questions, what is a Tomcat and why we need to use it? Tomcat is a web application server used to deploy the web applications. Alternative of Tomcat: Nginx, JBoss, IIS, WebSphere, Glassfish. What is the port number of Tomcat? What is the path to deploy the web application in a Tomcat server? web apps. Which one? Var file for web apps and jar file for libs. So this will be the question for the Tomcat. And one more thing. If I install Tomcat and Jenkins both in a single server, can we install? No. But if I have a requirement to install, now how can you do? Change the port number of Jenkins, or even you can change the port number of. I'll tell on tomorrow's session how to change the port number of Tomcat. So that's it about the session of today's. So now before going for doubts and queries, first of all, how's the class for all of you today? Is it clear? Online, can you please confirm me how's the class for all of you today? Can ping me on like session. It was clear, it was good. Okay. So Vikram, clear sir, but web application var file is not running right. We do set up only Tomcat. Yes, of course. Because I haven't said how to install the var file. Guys, if you want to deploy the var file in the Tomcat server, you know the process? It took only 1 second. How many seconds? Go here, click on browse. Already I download the Tomcat, like var file previously, right? So in the downloads folder, where is this gone? I think I have the var file here. Wait. In my home, in my downloads. Basically, I download the var file, right? Or is I stopped it. Huh? Okay, fine. So you can go here. Basically, I stopped the var file downloading. So let me complete. Is it downloading now? I think all of you know how to download var file. Go to the Nexus. You can download the var. So my logo. This browser option. Browse. Click on this var file. Open. Automatically, if I click on deploy, I can get var file. Currently, you don't have var file, but after deploying, you can get it. So let's show you the output also. Basically, this is small session concept, so I'm showing for you. Is it deploying application? But of course, internet is it's important. So seeing the var file here anyway. No, after the deployment got success, you are able to see. Sorry guys, the session got disconnected. So here, if I click on browse, go to the var file, open this one, click on deploy. Now automatically your var file will be running on the Tomcat and you can be able to access the application also. Are you seeing the Netflix here? I'll click on this Netflix login. Are you able to see the application now? This is what we can call as continuous delivery. What do we call as? What is continuous delivery? Deploying the application to production in a manual process. Which process? Have I upload the var file manually or not, sir? But the same process I'm going to show you automation in the upcoming days. So now is the definition clear for all of you? What is the continuous delivery? What is continuous delivery? Deploying the application to production in a manual way. I created the var file. I download the var file to my local. From local only I'm uploading or not, sir? But in tomorrow's class, within one click, automatically whatever the var file you're storing on Nexus, that will be uploading to the Tomcat. That will take only 1 second again. How many seconds? So this is the difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment. Today, what you see in continuous delivery or deployment? Why I need to call this delivery only? Why? Because whatever we done is manual. If I show you automation, then the definition will be very clear for all of you. So that's it. Now, if you are having any queries or any doubts or today's session, you can ask me now. So online, you can raise your hand, and offline, you can go ahead. Sir, please confirm when is your morning batch starts. So it will take 10 days, Swati, I think so. So, or you can ping admin regarding this one. Yep. So Akhil, you want to speak? Huh? You can go ahead, Akhil.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please go
Yeah.
ahead.
In the Nexus, there was an option where we cannot redeploy the same var, right? So how did the system know that it's the same var? Because whenever we generate a var, it's with this, right? And how the system knows that code changes is happened or not?
So directly we are getting the code from GitHub, right? In the GitHub, if you change the code, then only developer will let us know. One developer tell us, then only we are going to deploy. So it's going to be the internal communication we and like developers in the real time.
No. Suppose in case we provide the var file separately. So how then system knows that it is the same var file or not?
You can change the version, right? In the pom.xml, instead of 1.2.2, you can go for 1.2.3. You can change it, but here I'm not changing it. Okay.
So you means the system can analyze that code, right? What's the version name and all those things?
Yes.
Okay. Because usually we provide with the same name, var file. So
But
that's why.
sometimes the var version will change it. Like it's not like that every time you are uploading the same var file. Okay. Sometimes you will upload the different var file also. But again, like even though if we store the same version of var file, that's completely fine. There is nothing to worry about it.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Like a lot of the times, like you can see, like we upload the same var files only without changing the code. We generate the same var file and we re-upload it. Lot of the cases, but like it doesn't
Yes.
affect like any of our work.
Yeah.
Yep. So the last class notes and today's notes, I'm giving both of them here. You can take both of them. So still any questions online from your side? Sir, can you show manual deployment one more time? Rajesh, definitely Rajesh, I'll recover this on like a tomorrow session also. Like it's almost a session in time, right? So don't worry, like in tomorrow session, I'm gonna show you how to do it one more time. Yeah, please. No. You can't. Basically, you have the option to store it, but unfortunately, we store it on Nexus only. Okay. Why? Because var file storage is in real time, you can go for 1.5 GB. So if you host that much of 1.5 GB in GitHub, it's not a good practice. But of course, if you want to store, you can store it. Yes, Monday only. Interview questions already we discussed, Vikram. Okay, so that's it for today's session, and let's meet on Monday with some new topic. Have a great day and have a great weekend. Bye all. Thank you.